Hello, lost souls. My name is Nyla, and I will be your guide through the abyss. Today, it is time that we take a deep dive into the abyss. And by that I mean we're doing shadow work today. Um, yeah, it's never fun when we do shadow work, but you know, when you're on the awakening journey, shadow work is one of the most important things. Anyway, I don't actually have a specific shadow work deck. I do plan on ordering one here pretty soon. But until then, what I do have that is perfect for this occasion is a bunch of old Yu-Gi-Oh cards. You know, there are a lot of good shadow work cards in Yu-Gi-Oh, so that's what we're going to be using today. So here's how this is going to go. I am going to shuffle the cards, and I'm going to pick 6 cards to get a an overlook of the overall shadow work that we're going to be speaking about today, right? We're going to be working with. So, without further ado, let's get into the shuffling and see what Spirit has for us to talk about in the shadow on this particular evening. Whatever it is, it's probably going to be annoying to confront, as shadow work is usually annoying and nerve-wracking and stressful to confront. But as I said, it's all part of the process, right? It's all part of the process. We're all here to work on our shadows to make ourselves better people, to not pay our hurt forward, right? Not to be that kind of person. I'm not gonna pay our hurt forward. Hold on, let me move the camera back a little bit. So I have space for this. Right. 2, 3, and then split this again. And then we'll go 1, 2, 3. Alright. Let's see what the shadow has in store for us today. Ooh. Alright. Ooh. Ooh. So, the first card we have, the Invader of the Throne. The Invader of the Throne card. Someone invading your space, maybe, huh? Or maybe you're invading somebody else's space. No judgment, you know. And then we have the domino effect. And on the third card, we have Saber Shield. So, let's get into these 3 cards and then we'll get into the next 3 cards. Invader of the Throne, Domino Effect, and Cyber Shield. Who's been invading your space? Or whose space have you been invading that's been causing you a bit of a domino effect that's left you putting shields up, putting walls up, right? You know, if you invade people's space, if you're the type of person who does that, with that, even if you're not realizing that you are doing it, there can be a big domino effect that that happens. You know, those people might not want to be around you anymore. Um, and they might tell their friends that that you don't have that you don't respect other people's boundaries, and they might stop hanging out around you. You know, it might just be one domino. Oh, one domino tipping over another, and then that might tip over into other parts of your life, your workspace, uh, your kids, if you have any. Maybe you're not respectful of their spaces, right? You're invading their spaces. You're being a little bit too tightly gripped with them, right? Your parenting style is a little bit too rigid, right? And you're not respectful of their space, allowing them to grow and to make mistakes on their own and to be themselves, be who they are, to learn who they are by making those mistakes, right? And then we can get into the cyber shield, the walls that you put up around yourself, um, because you might think that other people are being ridiculous, right? You might not understand that you are the one that is being in their space, right? Getting into their space, not respecting their space. And now you're putting up walls, right? You're putting up walls around yourself to protect your emotions, to push away these people that you are perceiving are being, just bad people that are being negative towards you because of reasons that you don't understand, right? So, and then there's the opposite effect. There's the opposite of that. You know, if you let people constantly invade your space and run all over you, that's going to have a domino effect on you specifically because they're going to be able to take advantage of you. They'll be able to take advantage of your resources, your energy, your money, whatever it might be that they're trying to get a hold of. If someone's invading in your life and you're allowing them to do that, and especially if they're, like a drug addict or something, they're going to ruin your life. They're going to make life very, very difficult for you if you allow them to just run over you or walk over you, right? If you're allowing them to invade in your space. And that can definitely cause you to put up a lot of walls, um, especially around uh, relationships, love relationships. If you're, a lot of people have been running over you for as long as you can remember. If you've been allowing them, you might be um, really rigid when it comes to finding someone to be partners with, right? And that might scare them off. That might make them think twice about you. And there's that domino effect again, right? So, like I said before, uh, yeah, well, yeah, like I said before, don't let people invade in your space and don't be invading in other people's spaces, right? That's a part of the shadow that we have to work on, right? We have to understand and recognize when we are being invading of other people's spaces and when other people are being invaded on our space, invading in our spaces. That's a part of the shadow. That's an aspect that's one of the more difficult parts of the shadow. Um, especially. if you are a very caring uh, kind of person, if you really care about people, it can be difficult not to try to force them into healing, right? To not um to not want to be in every part of their life to try to help them or to try to, you know, stop them from doing something that you know they're going to regret. Sometimes we have to let those people do what they're going to do and learn from those mistakes. And that's a that's a hard thing to do when you're a very caring soul. When you have a very caring soul, very caring and very loving. I know it was very difficult for me, and it caused me to lose a lot of friends because I was just way too um I was I was not respectful of their space. I was constantly trying to correct their mistakes instead of giving them um the space to make those mistakes on their own and to learn from them. I was constantly trying to prevent that from happening, and it got to the point where they couldn't take it anymore. You know, I was all up in their business all the time, and it had that domino effect of, well, we don't talk anymore, right? That was my domino effect. You know, that was my invader of the throne moment, right? But so anyway, that's first part of this reading. That's the first part of the shadow that we'll be working on this year. That's the that's the that's a big one for me, especially. I'm sure that's a big one for a lot of you out there. So let's get into the second part of this shadow work reading. And for this part, we have Book of Moon, Back to Square One, and Spirit Burner. This is an interesting one. This one right here. Mm. The Book of Moon, specifically for me, is the Moon card in tarot, which is emotions, right? So, and back to square one. Well, in a lot of board games, especially um, well, yeah, in some types of board games, you have that one spot on the board that if you land on it, it takes you all the way back to the first position, right? That's what back to square one is. And Spirit Burner. Spirit Burner for me is what types of are there certain types of energies or spirits in your home that you might need to cleanse? So when we put this together, right? The emotions, the emotions are becoming a problem, right? Emotions becoming a problem. Emotions taking you back to square one. Emotions that you're gonna need to cleanse to cleanse, to cut yourself, to work on, to remove from, you know, to remove from yourself, to go get therapy from, to to burn off. Um, so what types of, so what emotions are causing you problems in your life, right? What emotions are we having that are causing us problems right now? What emotions are boiling up that's taking us back to square one, right? In our spiritual awakening, and spiritual awakening. What are those emotions? Are you having trouble with anger? I know that I have a lot of issues with anger. Um, because I care very deeply. when I see things that are not aligned with my morality in this vessel, in this body, I know that my anger can get very out of hand very quickly, right? And when you're going through a spiritual awakening, if you allow yourself to get lost in anger, it'll take you back to square one. You're gonna have to go back all the way back and relearn whether how to deal with that anger, right? It's gonna take you back into a mindset of ego. It's gonna take you back into the mindset of the false self, allowing your emotions to get the better of you, right? It's gonna take you back to square one, all the way back. And that's definitely something that all of us in the awakening are going to have to work on in the shadow, right? That's a shadow work that we all have to do eventually. We all have to confront our emotions in the shadow eventually. There's just no avoiding it. But Spirit says that this year is the year that you work on those emotions. This is the time. This is the moment now, right now, to start working on those emotions and to go into shadow work with um, whatever emotion is keeping you held back or putting you back to square one. You know, to really burn through all of those blocks, those emotional blocks that are keeping you stationary, keeping you stagnant, keeping you, you know, stuck where you are in your awakened journey, right? That's what that is. That's that's the second part of this shadow work reading. So so we've gone through the Vader of the Throne, and we've gone through the Book of Moon, the emotional, the part of the shadow that really grips onto you. Especially, being human. We are naturally emotional creatures. Being mammals and being uh, having the amount of awareness that we do have, we are very emotional and very we have a hunter gatherer type of mindset. Where we work best when we're in tribes, when we're in groups of people, right? So our emotions will definitely run high because that's just how we are naturally. That's how we coexist with one another. That's how we've learned to thrive in our ecosystem. That's how we've become the top of the food chain because we have that understanding and awareness of emotion and of ourselves and of everything around us. We were able to create things and build um, weapons that put us at the top of the food chain, right? But those emotions are also the thing that could tear us down if we allow them to control us. It can definitely lead us down a path of self-destruction. And I don't want that for any of y'all. I want the best for all of you. But you're gonna have to, take a deep dive into the abyss and explore the emotional side. You know, explore where those negative emotions are coming from. Um, go back to the child, the child within us, and find that inner child and comfort them and tell them that it's gonna be okay. tell them that it's okay to have these emotions, to feel what they feel. And then when you've done that, you can start to study and understand why those emotions are coming up and why you're having such intense reactions to certain things. Um, I know that for me, a thing that really gets under my skin is Christianity and their hatred towards the transgender community, right? Fundamentalist Christians and their hatred, fundamentalist conservative Christians. But we're not gonna get into politics. Politics is, ugh, yeah, we're not gonna go there. So, but yeah, that's a thing that really gets under my skin, and I have come to realize the reason is because of my parents, right? My parents are not really accepting of me as a transgendered person. They would rather ignore that that part of me exists or that that's who I really am. They would rather that I didn't bring it up, that I would just keep quiet and not mention it. And that's, you know, that and the reason is because that's just what makes them most comfortable, right? It's not comfortable for them to go through the process of admitting that I'm transgender and making changes to make my life easier, which is why I've had to kind of force that into being, right? I've had to force it, um, because I've been really miserable living life the way that I have under their roof. And maybe you're in a similar situation, right? You're in a similar situation. You've got parents that are not accepting of you, and you're like me. You don't really have an escape plan. You're kind of stuck because your parents have only done the bare minimum, and you don't know anything about, the outside world or how any of that, or how to do any of the things that you need to do in order to move out of the house, right? And sometimes, you know, you have to force their hand, right? They're either going to accept you as you are and learn to coexist with you as you are, or they're going to help you move out of the house. They're going to teach you everything you need to know in order to move out, right? And that's going to be hard. It's going to be difficult, because those are your parents and you want them to accept you. You want them to be um the parents that you see on Disney Pixar movies, right? You want those parents. But you don't have those parents, right? You got the short end of the stick and it sucks. It really does. But you take you take what you have and you move forward, right? You yeah, you either, you know, make them learn to accept you for you, or you go, or you move out and you find people who will accept you for who you are and who will love you for who you really are. And you leave those parents who won't behind, right? You leave them back at square one. You leave them all the way back in the past. And sometimes that's what we have to do. Sometimes we have to leave those people behind. Sometimes there are certain times in our lives where we have to leave certain people behind. Which is what I think the overall message of this shadow work reading really is sometimes we have to leave people behind. There are certain times there it's just that's just how it is, right? Sometimes you have to leave people behind. You have to let them go. You have to let them go. And it sucks. And it's emotional and it's draining. And it takes a lot of effort mentally to allow yourself to let those people go. Because if you're like me, like I've said previously, I care a lot about people. I have a big heart, and I wear my heart on my I wear my heart on my sleeve most of the time, right? I'm that kind of person. I would put myself before I would put everyone else before myself. Um, if that wasn't unhealthy for me to do. I have done that in the past, and it's not good, right? But if I was in a position where I could do that, if I was mentally stable, if I was financially stable, if I had, you know, really good job, a nice house, if I had everything figured out and I could wear my heart on my sleeve, and just give to people who needed it, right? Without having them take advantage of me, that would be my goal. That would be my dream. That's what I would want. That would be what I would consider a successful life, a successful and fulfilled life for me, right? That would be, that's just my dream. But that's me. But anyway, yeah, I think that's it's gonna be it for this video, this shadow work session, right? I think we got into some really good stuff here, right? We got some stuff to work on this year, and I'll be working on it with you guys, especially definitely. I'll be working on it right along with you, so know that you're not alone. Know that we all have these issues and we all have to face these issues at some point. Um know that if you are in a situation like me where your parents are not exactly accepting of you, and probably won't ever be fully accepting of you, that there are people out there who do care about you, who will care about you, who will love you for yourself, who will act as, you know, the mother and father that you never had, even if they are just, friends. There are people out there who will fill that role for you, for your parents, right? There are people out there, lots of them. We're not alone. We're never alone. Especially knowing that we're all one here. We're all one. We're never separate. Separation is an illusion of the mind. We are all part of the collective consciousness. Well, this reality that we've incarnated into in these human vessels is just um is temporary, right? We came here to experience ourselves and go through these challenges in order to understand ourselves better than when we um came better than before we came here, right? We came here to have an experience um and to unite with one another on a deeper level, right? We're here to deepen the consciousness of the collective, to awaken the people who are still unconscious, and we're all here on the same path. We're all here for one another. Everyone in the awakening community, we're all here for you. And everyone in the transgender community who feels alienated, who feels, like they don't belong, who feels like they will never belong, um, we're here for you as well, right? We're us in the awakened community and in the witchcraft community as well. We're all um very happy to have you with us. We're all excited to see you grow and and learn and accept yourself and love yourself and to find your community, to find those people who love and accept you and love you, right? As you are, and accept and love you as you are. And and we're excited to see you find your true self. We're excited to see, you know, where you go, what you do. We're all excited to see it. So don't ever let anyone or anything allow don't ever allow anyone or anything to convince you that you are alone in this journey. You're not alone. Um we all have your back, right? We all do. We're all here for you. And if you need to talk or anything like that, my comments are always open. You can, you know, say what you gotta say, down in the comments, right? Whatever you have to say. If you're keeping some stuff pent up in your mind and it's not going away, you can type it down in the comments. You're always welcome to, right? You're always welcome to share your stories, share your grievances and your emotions down below. I'm not gonna tell you that you can't, right? Um, but yeah, anyway, if you did enjoy this video, please leave a like. Um, like I said before, leave a comment down below, tell me what you think, give me your opinion. Um, I hope this video has earned your subscription. And as always, I will see you guys all in the next video. Bye.